ko Mata'au te awa, ko Papanui te monga, ko Waitaha rawa kai tahu toku iwi, ko Rakiraki toku whānau, for Ruth Baldwin toku ingoa. My tupuna Rakiraki was a humble and spiritual man who spanned two cultures. He was born around 1810 out by Hawea, where he lived with his whānau in an extended family group, hunting and gathering, harvesting harakiki to make his clothing, and traversing the waterways and inland camps for birds and ducks. In the 1830s, and we believe it was around 1836, Rakiraki and his whānau made a final trip down the Mata'au to settle at Murikohaka, which was a village at the mouth. And that was for two reasons. One, Te Poho was raiding down the south, and two, the Rakiraki whānau had already tasted the value of trading with early European settlers and explorers, and they saw the value in being able to trade weru or clothing, because it took away the onerous job of weaving body coverings. So they came down to Murikohaka, and at that time the population on the southern coast had been decimated by the measles. So there was only a small group of the Waitaha whānau and what was left, a remnant group of Kaitahu and Kati Mamoi, living at Murikohaka. Rakiraki became the natural leader. He was a skillful hunter-gatherer who could navigate rivers and waterways. And this group of 40 or so people lived the hunter-gathering nomadic lifestyle here in the Clutha district. They would grow potatoes on a place called Inch Clutha. Other times they would be upriver getting their kanakana or their eels. They would be hunting for their waterfowl, their putangitangi, the flapping or molting ducks, paradise ducks, which they would trap or use a dart-like spear to capture. They would come down the river to the sea, and they were big fisher people. They would be catching their hapuka, which is groper. Rakiraki and his whānau had very strong relationships with the local settlers here, trade being utmost importance to both parties. Food for the settlers, they liked to get the duck, the potatoes and the eel. And of course, Rakiraki and his whānau, they liked to get the clothing, nails and tobacco. So Rakiraki and his whānau, they lived here peaceably with the early settlers, and as more and more land was taken up, they moved closer and closer to the south, to where we are today at Makatu, and this was Rakiraki's final resting place and that of his son and his daughters. And they had such strong relationships that when Rakiraki died, there were 4 obituaries published in the Otago Witness and the Otago Daily Times.